This lesson would be geared towards a group of fourth graders. Hi, I'm Mrs. Geiger. The goal of my lesson is to incite this group of fourth graders to learn what call of action is based upon their reading. It would also cover listening skills. Okay, let's get started. First, I would ask them, why do we write? And I would use Q&A, question and answer method, and put on the board, we write to inform and we write to persuade. So the persuasive part of the lesson is what I would bring out. Okay, then I would share a moment from history, the April 18th, 1775 ride of Paul Revere, in which he warned us that the British were coming, saving America. And this took place in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, so they would each have a copy of American Spirit, which is a magazine where I read this tidbit about this story, this anecdote about Paul Revere. And so it goes. Okay, the story is that the new fact is that as a teen, Paul Revere worked in the Old North Church. And the author of this story is from Massachusetts, from that area where the Old North Church is. So it's in, the article is from Massachusetts. The author wrote it in Massachusetts. She lives in that area, and they would see, using their eyes, and I would have a picture of the Old North Church, because they do put a picture of it in the article. Okay, so as a teen, Paul Revere used to work in the Old North Church, and he devised ahead of time the signals of the bells signaling the ships on the harbor. And that is when he worked there as a teen, he came up with the one if by land, two if by sea. So on that fateful night, April 18th, 1775, he warned the American commanders by using the bells, two bells for two if by sea. So that was figured out ahead of time. And also, as a kid, Paul Revere had a lot of community spirit. So the other thing I would be teaching in this lesson would be themes of community. Therefore, when they did their call for action, they would be using themes of community, that they would be coming up with a event. As I put them into groups, they'd each be coming up with an event to share. What would they what event would they create for the betterment of all in the community. So I'd be trying to get them to think about community too. And even afterwards, I could share a poetry, the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere, the poem. It's similar in format to Edgar Allan Poe's Annabel Lee. So it's got that sing-song quality and rhythm, and each group takes a verse. Each group can take a verse and share, read their verse and share what's the meaning of their verse. Okay, so getting back to the author of this story that created this, relayed this story in American Spirit magazine, she had a 45-year career working for Guidepost. I don't know if you've ever heard of Guidepost class, but Guidepost is a spiritual magazine that focuses on lifting your spirit, creating enthusiasm. And this woman that wrote this article about Paul Revere as a teen also contributed to, she worked for Guidepost magazine for a lengthy career. So after I shared the story of Paul Revere, read the story, and I tell them what to listen for, I would, give them an example. For example, what I would want them to do, as I stated before, is to come up with an event that the community would benefit from. There'd be some benefit to the community. So to get them thinking outside of themselves and thinking of the greater good. An example I could give them were Princeton's Night Out, where the police, firemen, and EMTs organized an event and invited the people from the Princeton pool and the area there in by Community Park Pool to this event, and the proceeds went to a charitable organization that the Police Benevolent Association had chosen. So that'd be an example of a community event, one example of a community event, and then I would elicit from them an example of a community event. They may say a parade. They may think of a parade. A parade could be a community event. Some of the kids could be in organizations such as Girl Scouts or any of the groups that they have at the library. So maybe some of them have participated in a community event before, but what we'd be talking about would be community events. And of course, I would bring out the traditional themes of liberty and justice for all, to go with Revere's ride. Okay, and for food for thought, the grandfather, the woman that wrote the article's grandfather, she had a son, and the son used to go play outside, and then he used to come in all muddy and dirty. And the grandfather used to say, "I like you just the way you are." So the point is that later in life, the boy grew up knowing that the grandpa kept saying to him, I like you just the way you are," when he came into play each day. And she shared that learning moment with us. I would bring that into the lesson, because I would say, in what ways was Paul Revere different than the other kids on his block? In what ways was Paul Revere different than the kids on his block, where he, in 1775, was working in the church? The other kids are playing, he's working in the church, and he ended up doing something of such historical significance. So And that would go along with Ben Franklin or any of the historical figures, that they were strong people. And so this would teach the kids the importance of being strong individuals and thinking about these themes of liberty and justice for all. All right. Have a great day.